The soaring energy prices in the United Kingdom have left households facing steeper gas and electricity bills, with many paying as much as 50% more for energy. And now the ministers have warned that the energy bills can cost 2 months' wages for an average worker. Ministers have been warned that energy bills will cost more than 2 months' wages next year unless some form of help is given to households. According to the Bank of England forecast, the monthly take-home pay for the average worker will be £2,054 next year, while the annual cost of energy is predicted to be £4,200. The United Kingdom is facing one of its worst inflation and energy crises since the 1970s. The Bank of England has predicted a 15-month recession, with inflation peaking at more than 13%. The energy price cap, which limits how much households can be charged, is now forecast to soar to 80% in October, ultimately pushing citizens into a dire choice between heating and eating over the winter. UK Finance Minister Nadhim Zahawi has asked officials in the Finance Ministry to work on a multi-billion-pound package that could lead to an extra £400 cut in energy bills. The Chancellor is working for a proposal for government-backed lending schemes for suppliers, which would result in a reduced energy price cap from January. The new proposal will change how the country's energy regulator, Ofgem, determines the level at which the price cap should be set by removing an allowance the suppliers charge consumers. The Treasury has previously said it is working on energy support options for the country's new leader to consider. Both candidates, Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, have announced their own plans to help struggling households pay fuel bills. Sunak has promised to increase an existing £15 billion support package aimed at helping Britons cope with energy costs, while Truss has not committed to increasing direct payments to consumers, as she mentioned to do everything possible to ensure people can pay their bills, including lifting some environmental surcharges. Meanwhile, the Labour Party leader, Keir Starmer, has called for a ban on crippling energy price rises this autumn. Starmer will set out his plan to deal with the cost of living crisis in a speech later today. There are no details ahead of the speech on how Labour would fund the freeze. Keir Starmer said the Labour Party has a plan that meets the scale of this crisis, and he added the party would tax the oil and gas producers making huge profits. Any package announced will have to consider the efforts to conserve energy and demands over the winter, with bills set to remain high into next year. The whole structure of the price cap and support for poorer households also needs to be reviewed. We were earlier joined by Mark Brolin from London for more insights on the topic. Mark is a geopolitical strategist, economist and author, and this is what he had to say.
This is absolutely the key issue, coupled with the inflation issue, and of course these two issues are intertwined. So this will be the key issue throughout the remainder of the year, at least, and lots of it will depend on how cold the winter will turn out to be. You were talking about the different alternatives, and everyone is sort of for, you could call it a left-wing response in the short term, because everyone wants some sort of price cap or interventionism. The details are yet to spelled out, as you also said before. Longer term, it's more analytically falling along the traditional right-wing, left-wing lines, since left-wingers are saying that the problems we are having now is due to the energy market it doesn't work well, whereas right-wingers are saying that it's because of all the interventionism that has sort of affected the market actually for decades, that we have these energy prices because of the bans on nuclear reactions and fracking and all these kind of stuff. So longer term, it will be a more traditional left-right-wing divide again.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.